Hi, my name is Callum Miller and I am the Director of Millersoft Limited, an independent business intelligence consultancy. Thank you for viewing this demonstration, which will show you the power of Microsoft Excel when hooked up to the Mondrian OLAP Engine. First off, I'll demonstrate some of the features, then I'll describe the key benefits. Excel with Mondrian is the most undersold ad hoc reporting tool on the market, and I aim to sell its capabilities by releasing further promotional videos, so start following the series by following Millersoft on Twitter. Okay, let's get started on the features. We're going to start off with a simple pivot to introduce the basics, so we go to our Insert ribbon bar, click on Pivot Table, select the external data sources and choose the Food Mart Sales data source. Then click on Open and click OK. Now on the left hand side we can see the area of where the pivot will reside, and on the right hand side we have a navigation dialog box. First of all, we can see the measures which we can apply to the pivot, and as we scroll down we can see the individual dimensions which we can segment the measures or values with. So we have the time dimension there which we will be using. So the first measure that we're going to select is the customer count. So we click customer count, and on the left hand side we now see we have a distinct count of all the customers in the cube. Now we're going to apply the products dimension to the customer count, so we can see how many customers were buying the individual products. There we have drinks, food and non-consumables, and the customer count broken down accordingly with the grand total at the bottom. Now we're going to apply the time dimension to this cube, and we can see that we have 1 year's worth of data there, but if we expand the year's level we can see the customer count broken down across the various quarters for the individual product categories. Now if we want to expand on the product categories, we can traverse down the tree and see the appropriate counts change for the individual product categories. Now that we have our sales figures for 1997, we can rename our spreadsheet tab to sales, and then proceed with pulling in another data source, this time from the HR, and we're going to add that into a new Excel tab called the HR tab. This time the measure that we're going to choose is the organisational salary, and once again we're going to apply the time dimension to extract 1997, the total for the organisational salary. So I hope you can see that the power here in that we're able to bring into the spreadsheet different data from different data sources and create a third tab called the dashboard tab, which we can use to show a consolidated view of the data from both HR and the sales system. So we're just going to add a couple of simple formulas in here to show the power of this consolidation. So we're going to go to our sales tab and use a standard Excel formula to extract the 1997 sales total, and then we're going to add in the salary figures by using another formula from the HR pivot to pull in once again the organisational salary for 1997. And then once we have both those figures, the sales figures and the salaries figure, then we can show the difference between the two, which starts to give us a broader picture of what's happening in the organisation. So up until now we've been using the standard Excel formatting capabilities, but obviously pivot tables can be displayed graphically as well as numerically, and we can pull in pivot table information and display it as specific components within the dashboard. So here we have the customer count pulled in from the sales cube and displayed as an Excel chart. Equally, we can access the HR cube as another pivot chart. Just insert pivot and then choose pivot chart. And we're going to choose the Foodmart HR data source this time. Click OK. And then we're going to choose our measure, which is the count of the number of employees, and we're going to show that against time, and then again expand the quarters. So hopefully this gives you an impression of the power and flexibility of using Excel with Mondrian. Basically we can pull in disparate data sources and show any of those data sources and the information contained within them in the one Excel spreadsheet. So now that we have our chart selected, we can then change the configuration using the standard Excel graphical tools. So here we're just changing the chart title to sales, and we want to add a title to the HR chart as well, so we select a different chart style and then adjust the title to show the employee count. There we go, and that demonstrates a dashboard generated from 2 distinct pivot tables in 3 minutes flat. Hi, I hope you enjoyed that short demonstration. Having shown you some of the features available with Mondrian and Excel, I am now going to describe some of the business benefits. Using Excel as the OLAP front end builds on a user's previous experience with Microsoft Office. This is an evolutionary approach to business intelligence which leverages existing training and delivered as an enhancement to current working practices. Consequently, user acceptance is high. With Mondrian delivering the summarized data, Excel can now be used to crunch gigabytes or even terabytes of data. There really is no limit. Data can also come from any number of data sources, like sales or HR, and integrated in minutes to provide dynamic, consolidated views, finally giving businesses the opportunity to analyse in current time. Mondrian is a dedicated OLAP engine which is easy to install and works against any database. You don't need an army of consultants to configure or maintain your final solution, making results visible within days rather than months. Mondrian is continually evolving through the efforts of an active and talented open source community, with user feedback and enhancements incorporated into new releases. Mondrian is built using open standards like MDX, OLAP4j and XMLA, so a lot of excellent reference material already exists. Companies often need short, dedicated consultancy to help kickstart their first Mondrian project and then graduate to more mature support arrangements once projects stabilise. Millersoft Limited is delighted to help companies get started with their first Excel to Mondrian success story.